Good morning, church. I came across this quote the other day from a well-known teacher and writer named Sheila Walsh, who said that peace is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of Christ. Oh, how true is that? I'll give you a brief testimony here. Back several years ago, I had a heart attack. And while my wife and I were in the ER and they were doing all kinds of stuff, and then I toned out, I crashed. It's a long story, won't get into it. But throughout the entire process, I was never concerned. There was a peace, an inner peace that both Linda and I exhibited. We were the only ones in the ER who were not freaking out. But we both felt the presence of Christ with us, and we knew everything was going to be okay no matter how it came out. Now, the story is a lot longer than that. We'll share it someday together. But it is so true. Peace is not the absence of trouble, because, oh my goodness, there was trouble. But the presence of Christ. Christ was there. You know, the 16th Psalm, verse 11 says, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand." Yes, my dear friends, there is a presence of Christ, a presence of God in our lives, a presence always around us. But sometimes it's hard to put a finger on it. I read the story of a very well-known and gifted preacher named Arthur John Gossip. And this happened in Scotland more than a half century ago. Well, Pastor Gossip's wife died, and the sad event almost took the heart out of him. But he found the solace that only God alone could give. One Sunday, not long after the funeral, he preached a sermon entitled, "When Life Tumbles In, What Then?" Addressing his parishioners, he said, "You people in the sunshine, you may believe in the faith, but we in the shadows, we must believe it. We have nothing else." Then he testified, "There is a presence with us, a comforter, a fortifier who does strengthen us, does uphold us, does bring us through somehow from hour to hour and day to day. And as the days go by, what grows upon one more and more is the amazing tenderness of God." The amazing tenderness of God. There you have it. There is the presence, my friends. That amazing tenderness that only God, the loving Father, the loving brother, the innermost spirit, the amazing tenderness that God can bring us. You know, the Gospel of Matthew 14, verse 14, talks about when Jesus had received the bad news of his cousin, John the Baptist, being beheaded. And he went away. He had to get away. It just irked on him so hard. It just tore him apart so hard. So he got on a boat, and he crossed the Sea of Galilee, and there he was, just trying to be himself. But when he got ashore, he saw a great crowd. And rather than try to turn them away, what did he do? He had compassion on them. So the scripture says when he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them, and he cured their sick. This is the amazing tenderness of God. You know, we talk about the sacrifice that Abraham was called to make, but the substitute that was put in Isaac's place. And then we talk about the sacrifice that God made, and there was no substitute to be put in Jesus' place. Jesus was the perfect lamb, and is the perfect lamb. You know, Jesus is the one who holds that amazing tenderness on all of us. Those of us who have come to believe him, those of us who have come to walk with him, those of us who have come to bring him into our hearts, know this firsthand. We know that amazing tenderness, whether it's sitting in the ER of a local hospital, crashing to a heart attack, or it's holding the hand of a loved one as they're about to go into surgery, or it's It's sitting and praying with a child who doesn't understand why something is happening to them. In all of these ways, there is a presence with us, and as a presence is a peace that is free from the chaos of all that is going on around us. You know, that old statement that if you can keep your head while all those around you are losing theirs, the only way you can do that is through God, because He provides you that amazing tenderness, friends. He provides you that home. He provides you that loving, comforting embrace. And it is in that embrace that we find His tenderness. We had so much bad news last weekend. So much bad news about senseless murders and killings. We had so much bad news about divisions within our country, but yet there was so much good news. So much good news in knowing that in spite of who we are and how we sin, that God is with us always, that God has blessed this country as He has blessed so many others, but He has given us blessings that are countless. He has given us grace upon grace, love upon love. There is nothing in this country that is greater than the grace of God. And the one thing that He has afforded us is His amazing tenderness. You know, Abraham Lincoln was a godly man, and I'll leave you with this. And it says, "Without you, Lord, I must fail." Because when we tend to leave God out of things, we cannot succeed. We might think that we're succeeding, but my friends, nothing is lasting without God. And remember that He loves you, and so do I. And God bless you. Stay safe, and until tomorrow, goodbye.